Lord loved us so much that in our poverty, in our hell, I'm going to come and deliver the broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people. I'm going to save.
Young niggas ain't tough. Young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. YAHANNA, Yahweh Shema Allah Thug, Bashim Shot all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000, the card of a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite School of UPK under Commander Junior
Power, and you know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that?
Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander YAHANNA under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
2021 I.S.U.P.K. 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I'm siding with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go.
Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shop Rakatha. Yahweh Shemal Ladon Bashim Yahweh Shop to the sisters. President Captain TITHES with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, telling you to come out to the 52nd annual Passover under Commander General YAHANNA. Yeah, man, it's going to be at the ranch, man, the BH Ranch. And it's going to be a glorious event. April 24th, come to Houston, Texas, where we're going to serve the Lord the way he's supposed to be served. You understand? We're going to celebrate the destruction of our enemy in the BH Ranch, and it's going to be a glorious event. Make sure you come out, man. It's going to be a $200 fee to get in, but let me tell you something. You're going to enjoy yourself. This is going to be the best event you've ever been to in your life. So I'm going to tell you, man, 14149 Players Street, come out, man, and enjoy the brotherhood and sisterhood under Christ. With that, shalom.
Clap it up. All right, let's get it. Tonight, law class, if anybody have any questions, you'll type them in. If you're in here, of course, just raise your hand, say what question it is. Too much, don't put it too loud, all right? It's gonna start a feedback. It should be. You're hearing, right? Yep. Okay, so tonight's topic is, say it again, choosing life and wanting to change. Right? And choosing life. It's something, it's everything in your whole life is a choice from the day you're born to the day you die. It's you choose everything. Nothing is by chance, nothing is, that whole thing getting caught up in the moment and blah 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 blah. That's it's Christian. Right. it's a Christian philosophy. It's an excuse, right? It's an excuse. Where's the no excuses, sir? Right? All the schools have a no excuse sign in the school because of we have to break out of the culture of excuses. You understand? We have to break out of that culture of making excuses because it lowers the productivity. It lowers where you're supposed to reach. Right. It lowers how far you could take something. It gives you a reason to not do something, to quit. Basically, that's all it's saying. Right. So, and that's just your life habits. But this thing can affect your spirit to the point where you are making decisions that's going to kill you. Right. Is going to destroy you. Right. And you have to start developing good habits of making a choice, of doing things on purpose. I want to say on purpose, even growing up. Just as a child, children do something, somebody do something to somebody, and you try to make peace with them, and one child is like, nah, they did that on purpose, like for spite, meaning maliciously. Right. I'm not saying your choices are malicious. I'm meaning intend to do something. Oh, God. Don't just do it. You get the point? Right. Just like really intend to get to have that happen. Make a choice in your mind. I am going left. Right. And that's that. Right. Not, damn, how did I end up here, man? I was just rolling along, and at the time, left was there, and, left had the gas, and, left was there at a rough time in my life, and, not that shit. This is, I'm going left, and that's that. Right. You get the point? You're going to have that sort of, number one, 3 things you're going to need to do that. You're gonna have to have courage. You can write that down. Decision making is firstly and foremost governed by courage. Right. So many people are discouraged, for want of a better word, right? Or the UPK word, I grow up a coward. Right. You're just a huge coward about doing things. And because of it, you cannot make the right decision. You cannot, figure out where to go. Now, this is not to be confused with you genuinely not having the knowledge to make a decision. That's something different. Right. And even having the knowledge to make a decision, even not having the knowledge to make a decision, there's a decision to make there still. Okay. Right? So it's not to be confused with that. Not knowing how to do something, that's not what I'm talking about, and that's not an excuse. Right. There's still something you can do when you don't know what the hell to do. Right. Right. Now, once again, this is reprogramming your mind, because in the world, you don't know how to do something, you just don't know. You just leave it like that. Right. You don't take no sort of corrective action to get the thing done, whether you do it yourself or you get somebody to do it. Right. Right. So number 1, it takes courage. Number 2, a decision takes integrity. You understand? It takes integrity. What does integrity mean? Who knows?
If I may, sir, like it. Mm-hmm. Integrity, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness.
Right? The quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and moral uprightness. Honest there is, I'm going to give you another word for it. Dependable or reliable. Okay. That's the honest it's talking about here. Honest meaning, if I'm selling you, a garment, and you want to know if it's cotton. Right. And this is cotton. You could take this to the bank, it's cotton. Right. That's the honest day. His word is bond. Right. You get the point? Okay. What comes out of his or her mouth, you could take that to the bank. And it takes a certain amount of integrity to do that, because why? Your words your answer can change depending on what? your answer to something or your word can change. When I say your word, you know what your word is. You're giving your word about something.
Right.
Your answer on something can change depending on what?
Your knowledge of it.
It can change depending on your knowledge of it. What else?
Sorry, sir, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how the situation is going. Like if
give me some more.
Say if I gave my word to something and then on the other side it changed. So now I gotta change my word.
Say that one more time.
Say if I gave my word on something, but then on the other side it changed. So now I have to change what I stood for the first time. Just, to keep my word going.
Right. So now you give your word on something and then something did not happen. So now you change your word to match that. That cannot be it. Right? Now there's a time for that where if your word is contingent on something, if it's a go ahead.
Circumstance.
Okay, circumstance is not good because circumstances change all the goddamn time. You growing circumstance. You get the point?
Right. That wouldn't be the same as...
No, 15 years ago, you wasn't as tall as you were. No, depending on the age.
Right.
Your circumstances change. You wear different clothes. You get the point?
Right.
So, okay, the reason I'm saying that is probably vague to you. What I mean is that think about when people make excuses to change their word. What do they say? The circumstances are different now.
Right.
What I'm talking about is regardless of circumstance. You understand? What I'm talking about is regardless of circumstance. Because the point here, okay, you see the point here, what we're going to go into, you start coming into the truth, you are going to have enemies in your own house.
Right.
Your people on your slave going to be enemies, your children, your woman, if you're a woman, your husband. You're going to have certain things that are going to change. Your circumstances going to change.
Right.
So that cannot be an excuse on whether you eat pork or not. Right? That it can't be an excuse, right? You always wanted a child, but the child came when you was in your second year in college. Circumstances changed, so now you don't want a child anymore. So now you do what? You committed abortion. You get the point?
Right.
When you made a decision to have sex in your second year in college.
Right.
You get the point? So circumstances is not, I wouldn't say circumstances for that, all right? But I understand what you're saying. You get me? So first you have to have courage. You're going to have some integrity. What else are you going to have?
Sir, if I may, strength.
Strength, you could pair it with courage, but strength is something else too.
Correct.
You're going to have to be strong. Why are you going to have to be strong? Why are you going to have to be strong?
Sir, if I may, you need strength to get through whatever the situation is.
Say again?
You need strength to get through whatever the situation confronts you. Whatever it is that's in front of you that you need to, succeed on or conquer.
Okay, you need strength to get through it. Why you need strength to get through it?
Because everything is going to try to get you to not do that.
Everything is going against you.
Right.
It's like trying to jump.
Right.
That's life. Life is trying to jump, literally.
Right.
From a baby, all you know how to do is be on the floor.
Right.
Then you have to what? Guess that's why they put babies on the stomach. So they could raise up. That back muscle gets strong.
Right.
And then they could sit up. Then when they get strong enough, then legs start to move. Now they could get up off the floor. Right. When gravity, you want to keep them down.
Right.
You get the point? Then they start running. Then they start jumping, but they could only jump here because they ain't that strong.
Right.
As they get older, they jump up to here, but they have to come right back.
Right.
After a while, brother, what happens to a child? After a while, if they're not into sports or athletics or whatever,
they don't jump.
They don't jump no more because it's just too goddamn hard. It's just too hard to just jump and do anything. And before now, you're complaining about your knee and your back. That's life. Life is, I want to do this thing, but it's a fight. That's that's science. That's the way things are in life. You understand? You have to push forward because there's something always pushing you back. That's just like you drive in a car. You have to push the accelerator, right? Because friction is pushing you back. Right. When the rubber meets the road, that's a whole saying. Right. When the rubber meets that's friction pushing back on your car. So you have to push forward all the time. You're gonna have to always be pushing forward, always at war, because brother, everything is trying to make you stop. Right. Everything is trying to make you quit. Everything is trying to make you die. Right. Everything. You have to want to live. You have to want to jump. You're going to have to want to move. You're going to have to want to do things, or else nothing gets done. Right. Right? If you don't want to eat, you think I'm going to come to you and shove food down your mouth? No. You don't want to eat. You don't want to eat. Right. Get the point? Right. It's you have to want to do everything. Okay. Right? So that's where your strength comes in, because it doesn't stop. It never stops. Right. And some people think it do. And that's where the breakdown happens. Come on.
So like I said, if I may, it was another half to integrity.
Please.
The state of being whole and undivided.
Ooh, wait. I like that one. Say it again.
The state of being whole and undivided.
The state of being whole and undivided. Integrity. Right. The state of being whole and undivided. How people say, I'm conflicted, I'm, this, that, the other. You're going to start to now compromise your integrity. Right. You understand? You got to maintain your integrity. People who deal with vessels, like ship captains and stuff like that, they always talk about the integrity of the hull, the integrity of the plane. You don't want to compromise the integrity, because that thing has to remain whole. That vessel can't have no cracks in it. Right. Because why? It's pushing against something. Right. And if it has cracks in it, that thing is going to grip onto that crack and rip it all the way open. Yep. And that's life. That's everything. Okay. A small chink in the armor, just like you have a car, one small dent in the paint. If you don't treat that, over time, that turns into a huge rust spot. Yep. Everybody who ever had a car knows that. You get a chip on that fender, some, especially them points, them corner points, them sharp points. You get a good chip on that and don't treat it, it starts rusting. And you just have a big, rust gut in your fender, a big triangle now because it just rusted out. Right. You understand? And that's how it happens. You're gonna have to maintain them things. There's courage, integrity, strength. Go ahead.
If I may, sir. Put discipline up there.
Discipline is up there. Discipline could be a sub of strength and courage. In fact, it takes discipline to have courage and strength. It takes discipline to have them all. Right? Because once again, everything is trying to push you away from it. Right. You're going to have to be, no, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm scared, but I'm going to do. That's another thing. People think courage means you're not scared. You could only be courageous if fear is a factor. Yeah, if fear is not a factor, you're not brave. Like, he went across the street and, bought candy. Right. He's brave. What the fuck is fear? You scared of diabetes, nigga? You know what I mean? Fear is only a factor if fear is involved. Right. And you have to have discipline to look fear in face and still keep that answer. Right. No, I'm not eating no pork. Christ is black. XYZ, blah, 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 and the list goes on. You get the point? No matter what's going on, you're going to have that discipline to have the integrity, because everything is trying to get you to do what? Compromise. Right. Everything is trying to get you to just shave a little bit off. Right. Yep. Just, go get some, let's call that paper, not sand. What's called sandpaper? What's the industrial term?
Not rusted. Grit.
Yeah, you know, they have an industrial term anyway. But you're not talking sandpaper and 2% or whatever it is. And you smooth that out, you buff that out. Everything is trying to get you to do it. Now, with that said, is compromise something that should never happen?
Sir.
Explain.
You got to compromise, like in the context of a marriage. Like a marriage is, I remember Jeremiah saying that the marriage is compromise.
It is a compromise. You're going to have to compromise in that situation. But you're not compromising your integrity. Why? Because the integrity is the marriage.
That's right.
If you don't compromise in the marriage starts to fall apart.
Right.
So now, and that's every relationship. If it's two brothers, two sisters, a brother and a sister, a boss and an employee. And sometimes there has to be a compromise.
Right.
Hey, I need to leave early today. No, I'm looking for another job.
Yeah, constantly.
You get the point?
Right.
Man, I need this, man. I need it to come in early, or I need it to overtime. Nah, you only paid me until 4. All right. No problem.
Right.
And then you hey, this is the new guy. New guy! Yeah, you're gonna be with him today.
Right.
How's it going, new guy? And you training your replacement. Right?
Right.
But it has to have a compromise for the integrity to maintain.
Right.
You get the point? It's down there. So, it could confuse you where I'm not compromising, but in this thing, there's going to have to have a compromise for us to move forward. But you can't compromise where the attack is coming, which is the external force there. You know what I mean? That thing that's fighting against you to break it, to stop it, you can't compromise that.
Right.
That has to go on. What happens in that hole there might be a compromise. We might have to slow down. We can't push this boat through the water so hard.
Right.
But that water cannot come in here.
That's right.
You get the point? You got to think like that. You have to have discipline to have strength. Why?
Because everything is meant to make us weak.
It's like being in the gym. You ever go in the gym? You trying to work out. Your first time on the machine, the weights going clack, 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 clack. You trembling, and you want to do what?
Stop.
You don't stop.
Right.
Because the weight, your hands trembling, the weight's clanging.
Right.
You're feeling embarrassed, and it starts to hurt.
Right.
It starts to hurt in a way you never hurt it before. And what you start to think, I'm gonna rip something, I'm gonna tear something. Maybe you just keep some discipline and push on through.
Right.
And maybe next time it wouldn't shake so much and wouldn't hurt so much.
Right.
But it takes discipline. It takes discipline to go back the next day.
Right.
And put yourself through pain again.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
It takes discipline, but you're going to get stronger.
Right.
All that comes down to what? A decision.
Right.
Am I going to do this or am I not going to do this? Okay. And if you say you're going to do it, then you better do it.
Okay.
All right, come on.
Oh, so but mate, that goes back to what you just said, wanting to live or.
That's it. You have to want to live.
Right.
You have to want to, you got to want to do anything, not just live. Anything in life, you have to want it.
Okay.
You got to just sit there and say, I want this. I want it. I want it. I'm going to get it. You want this. Okay. This person so and so. Tiger Woods. He wanted to be number 1.
Right.
There was nothing stopping him.
Right.
And Michael Jordan, he wasn't playing with that number 1 shit.
Right.
He wanted to be number 1. That Kobe Bryant too. That fool there, boy, he was ridiculous about that basketball.
Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. He was training before games. When the other team come to warm up, he let them finish warm up, and then he keep training. One of the players asked him, "Why you train? Why didn't you? I met you there and I left. Why you didn't go to join the team?" He said, "Because I saw you looking, and I needed you to know that I'll outwork you."
Right.
That's it. Different. You want something. You understand?
Right.
It's different from you making a casual decision. And if you want to progress in life and be successful in life, your decisions can't be that casual.
Right.
It's not. You can't be that casual in what you decide to do. You understand? You could be casual in your drinks or what you eat or whatever. But decisions, these certain decisions, you cannot be casual in. It's not good for you.
Right.
You understand? So first give me.
We got some questions in the chat too, sir, for me.
On topic?
Lie, sir.
Okay, hold Deuteronomy 30, 15 through 19, I believe.
Okay.
All right. Right. And also give me hand to the plow. Luke 9:62. Give me that first.
Okay.
Give me Luke 9:62. Go ahead, you got it?
Luke 9, verse 62. And Jesus said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God.
Read it one more time.
And Jesus said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God.
Right? What does that say? Go ahead.
Like you're having doubt, you're looking back, like you're working forward to something, but the whole time you keep checking behind yourself, see if you've done it right. You gotta have confidence in what you're doing.
A little different. A little different. That's how it starts. That's how you remove your hand from the plow.
If I may, sir.
Uh-huh.
Is this referring to like any brother that starts to put in work and then now looking back, meaning he's starting to not do the work, meaning he's starting to ease up from doing his actual duty? Not
looking. Okay, I think looking back is what I'm tripping your brother up. Looking back means regretting. Good. That's what you do when you regret.
Yeah,
you look back and be like, man, I should have never. God damn it! I should not have. I should not have. That's you're looking back. You're remembering. You're recalling.
Right.
Don't think looking back like you pushing the plow and you're like, what's back there?
Right.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that. You might have plowed something you shouldn't have plowed. You might have plowed your foot off, and your foot is back there.
Right.
You get the point? But think looking back like you plowed and like, man, I could have been I had bars. I was spitting.
Right.
Now look at me. You get the point? The plow is work. A plow is used for work.
Right.
You put your hand to that plow and now, because the plowing get hard, now you wondering what life is on the other side.
Right.
You're feline. That's the new word for PUSSY. You're a feline.
Right.
Both men and women, you're a feline.
Right.
Because it gets difficult, now you start to regret.
Right.
And what's the glory in it? What's the story? And I learned very young in this truth, brother. Get stories.
Right.
There's opportunities to have stories when you're old in the truth. When you get older in the truth. You can't have stories if the hard time comes and you drop. You get the point?
Right.
You can't. There's no story. Who gonna tell the story? You ain't there to tell the story.
Right.
And we ain't talking about it now.
Right.
You get the point?
Come on.
But you could tell the story about the time you stood the Muslims down on the corner.
Right.
And some crazy nigga was shooting 3-pointers with the down. Kobe.
Right.
You could listen. That's a Zariak, brother. Listen, I damn near teleported in the spirit when I first saw the video. I went to New York.
Right.
He said, either you cross the fucking line or get the fuck out.
Right.
If you that day, how are you going to tell that story if that day you's like, man, Cesaria almost get me killed. Like them out there talking about they gonna kill niggas and man. I ain't coming back, man. How are we gonna tell that story?
Right.
You get the point? How are we going to tell that story? And I said you gonna have to seize that opportunity, but you're gonna have to overcome that. You're gonna have to overcome the fear.
Right.
Being not whole with the integrity and being weak. You're gonna have to keep your discipline to do it.
Right.
So read the scripture one more time.
Luke 9, verse 62. And Jesus said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God.
Right? So that's what he's saying. He's saying, if you put your hand to the plow, if you decide to do the work, and you start regretting it, you are not fit for the kingdom.
Right.
Because the kingdom is work.
Right.
It's hard work. This doesn't come by give me that too. Give me this does not come by observation. Right? It's hard work. This is not, a 9-to-5 job. This is not that. This life that you decided to take.
Right.
Nobody forced you in here. Nobody said, hey, you do your 90 days, you're a trooper now, you have to come here. Before that oil goes on your head, you get asked what? Who remembers?
Are you sure you're going to take this oath?
Are you sure you're ready to take this oath?
God.
You understand? You don't ever have to do this thing. You can come and get your name and be a student, a civilian.
Right.
And that's fine.
Right.
You decided to be a civilian. But if you decide to put your hand to this plow, brother, blood in, blood out. That's all I can tell you. That's a lot. You can't get up out of it. It's better that you didn't. It's better that you did not start the work. It's better that you just remain right where you are. You don't need to be in here.
Right.
But you decide to take that step up. It's a decision. It's a decision like having sex.
Right.
Notice I didn't say having a child.
Right.
It's a decision like having sex. Why? What can happen from sex?
Having a child.
You can get pregnant. What else can happen from sex?
STDs.
You could die.
Right.
You could get an STD and die. A lot of STDs kill you.
Right.
Right? Nobody says, hey, I'm gonna go out there and get, staph today. Not staph. What's syphilis.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do tonight? Man, I'm gonna see if I get some syphilis. Nobody does that, right?
Right.
What you doing later? Man, I think I'm gonna get pregnant. Right?
All right.
Everybody says what? I'm trying to go dig somebody. Daughter guts out, excuse my language. Or some broad gonna be like, I want somebody to come beat this up. I'm going home with somebody tonight, right?
Right.
That's what the Trey song sing that. Which one of y'all? Which one of y'all going home with Trigger, right? You didn't say which one of y'all coming for this herpes. Which one of y'all coming for this kid I got to put in you?
Right.
You get the point?
Right.
But that's the decision you make when you decide to have sex. That's just it.
Right.
You get the point? That's the decision you make. You make a decision now that I'm going to do this action, and what can come with this action is an STD that could take my life or harm me for the rest of life, or I can have a child.
Right. And
I need to be ready for that. Now, you had sex. Boom, the sex is over. You're laying there. Man, I've dealt with that. I handled it. Your sister, girl, so and so and so and so. And then the baby come.
Right.
And the STD come. You can't, the circumstances change, right?
Right.
No, you can't take the sex back. You already made a decision.
Right.
Now that's the bed you're laying in.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You can't abort a STD.
Right.
Because you could abort the child.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
You could abort the child. And now you're going to make another dumb decision.
Right.
Brothers too. You lay with her, she get pregnant, she a hoe, so you don't want your baby mother being a hoe. You gotta get rid of it. Nigga, you didn't think about that when you wanted to get one rubbed out?
Right.
You didn't think, okay, I probably should not touch this girl.
Right.
But you made that decision. And that's the thing, you made your decision. So now understanding the power of a decision, you're going to have to make them decisions wiser. What's the scripture I asked for?
I got it right here, sir.
Good.
Luke chapter 17, verse 20. And when he was demanded of the Pharisees, when the kingdom of God should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation.
Go ahead anymore.
Couple cuts of slack. Neither shall they say, lo here, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
Exactly. So the kingdom doesn't come with observation. It comes with work.
Right.
He said the kingdom is within you. If the kingdom is within you, how does the kingdom get built? You have to work.
Right.
So if you put your hand to the plow, if you make a decision, then that's that. You made that decision. Now we had to get this thing done. You understand? We had to get this thing has to get done. There's no going back on it.
Right.
Where was that before?
Luke chapter 9, verse 62.
Luke 9 and 62, right? Give me Deuteronomy 30, 15 through 19.
I got it. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Right? See, I have set before you this day life and good, death and evil. Break it down.
So, like, if I may, sir, the Lord is saying you have a choice to make. You have a decision to make. The decision is yours to make. But these are your options. You understand? Life and good, and death and evil.
Right.
But there's a decision before you that you have to make. And like we just broke down before, that's the fight. You understand? You have to have the discipline and the courage and the strength to choose life and good. Because death is easy. You know what I'm saying? Doing evil is easy, especially in this wicked society. But to choose life is work.
Exactly. Go ahead. Go ahead now. You had your hand up?
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead.
In another way to look, I was looking at it. You could choose to do that hard work, and it would be good for you. Whereas you could be stagnant and or be casual about have regret or the decision you made. It's not going to do anything for you. To bring more evil, more idol.
Okay, not doing the work is not evil. Because you could choose to not do the work. But if you start doing it
right
and renege on it, that's the issue. Nobody gonna fault you if you come up in here and say, you know what, man, I see what you all do and I can't do it.
Right.
I ain't strong enough. I ain't ready to go out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would stand down. You know, read the scripture one more time.
God.
Deuteronomy
chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Right? So it's nobody's gonna fault you if you decide not to. Once again, okay, think having a child. What's evil? Not having a baby or aborting a baby?
Both.
All right.
Right.
So nobody ain't gonna say you don't want no children. You're evil. No, I don't want none.
Right.
I'm good. Right. You understand?
Okay.
What's somebody who gets married and then wants the divorce or does the divorce, right? Throws away whoever. Versus somebody who never marries.
Right.
Who's evil?
The divorced person got divorced.
The person that got divorced. Remember, the evil here is what? What is the evil? What's the evil thing?
To start something and now to have a regret about starting.
And really it's going into the law. It's really going into the law, because what's the law on putting your hand to the plow?
That's a lot of stuff I made, regretting, looking back.
Can you ask that again?
Okay. Abortion, there's a law on murder, right?
Right.
Abortion is murder. There's a law, thou shalt not kill or thou shalt not murder. What's the law on putting your hand to the plow and removing your hand? There's a law. That's a sin in the Bible. You can't do that.
Well, so like the stuff I made. Don't start doing the Lord's work if you can't finish it.
But what's the law?
So like I said, I don't know.
Anybody? There was here.
Is it Deuteronomy 22 and 10, sir?
Let me hear.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 10. Oh, Salaki, no, that's not it, sir. This is thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together.
Oath breaker is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Oath breaker or oath breakers. I might be saying anything wrong. You can't be an oath breaker.
Is it Matthew chapter 5, verse 34, sir?
Let me hear. Does it say oath breaker?
It says lie, sir.
Okay. Oath breaker. I may be saying the word wrong then, if it's not oath breaker. Right, you can't break your oath. Go ahead.
Oh, so is it Numbers 30 and 2?
Let me hear.
If a man vow a vow unto the Lord.
Yes, that's it. To water. Go ahead, read it.
Cut. Numbers chapter 30, verse 2. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth.
Listen now you see why the UPK is UPK. Like, this is a vow we take.
Right.
This is not, the boys' club. This is not something fun to do on Saturday.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is not some, what you so-called, what is it, man get the middle-age crisis? Yeah, where you buy a bike and you ride, you join a bike again and you ride to, California.
Right.
Just to make yourself feel young. This is not that.
Right.
This is not that thing. This is, I am pledging fealty to the king.
Right.
This is, yes, my sword is yours. It sticks in the ground, you take a knee and you bow your head.
Right.
As long as you live, whatever the king wants, you oblige.
Right.
This is this. So now, circumstances have changed. Okay. Bring him to the court.
Right.
Bring him now to the court. You understand? You vowed this before the Lord. You understand? You can't vow a vow and then now decide you're going to break it. Which is why, what's another vow that people vow to the Lord and then break it because of effing circumstances? Marriage. Right? Even people in the world, when they go to that priest or that father or whoever, do you take this before? Do you solemnly swear to take so-and-so in sickness, in health, in riches, in poor, in whatever else?
Right.
You get the point? For good and bad, till death do us part. But you're all walking around alive and well and still not together.
Right.
So somebody lying. Somebody broke their oath.
Right.
An oath is, brother, it's so powerful, it's so righteous and honorable,
right?
And it doesn't get the value it should get in today's society. That's why most brothers in the whole rap industry and follow the rap thing, they look at Bobby Smurder like he is such a huge hero,
right?
You understand? And for all intents and purposes, in the context and in that world and what was reported that he did, he is.
Right.
Because it was so easy to not do it.
Right.
Like who would choose more time in prison for somebody else?
Right.
Who would?
Right, concert.
And then you think they ain't come to him after and say, listen, man, we could change this thing now and you'll be out. You'll be making money. He had to sit in there and watch 6ix9ine make a whole ton of money. Sticky with the blicky. He had to sit there and watch that. You know what I mean?
Concert.
And the other brother who he took the time for and came out first could have flipped.
Right.
Could have came out and just did whatever. You get the point?
Okay.
But they didn't break their oath to each other. Whatever that oath is they have.
Right.
You get the point? There's a whole ton of honor in this man. His word matters.
Right.
And you have to think back in a time where there's no cell phones, there ain't no, internet. We live in such an instant society, we don't put value on a person's word. Think, for those of you old enough to remember, think about the time when there was before pagers even, where a meeting had to stop at 8:15.
Right.
Brother, that meant 8:15.
Right.
Because if you're late, how the hell are you telling that person you're late?
Exactly. Concert.
There's no way to communicate. So now you have to be there.
Right.
Or if you're late, man, he said he's going to wait. He said he's going to wait. My man, you waiting, man. It was jammed up, blah, 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 blah. I told you I was going to wait on you.
Right.
You get the point?
Right.
You remember them days where you waiting.
Okay.
Or you're there, 5 minutes early because you had to be there at 8:30. Ain't no instant thing to now, just because you could communicate your fault or where you're lacking in instantly, now it's acceptable.
Right.
But there was a time when you couldn't communicate it so easily. Showing up 2 hours late was not acceptable.
Right.
But now we have convenience. Hey, listen, so and so is the case. I'm running late, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of, not saying it can't happen, but a lot of those things could be avoided.
Okay.
You get the point?
Okay.
If we keep in our word, if I'm saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And it's something you got to train yourself to do. Go ahead.
I made a vow to myself a long time ago that I don't lie. And I came out of the phrase keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to people around me, I hold them to everything that they say. And I notice that people don't know the difference between, they think it's a difference between a big lie and a little lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I let them know, hold them to the little lies too. They call them little white lies, and let them know there's no difference in lies. You're lying. You know what I mean? So when you say something, hold it. Whether it's, I'm 10 minutes away. If something changes in that time, I need a phone call. Because I'm waiting for you. My time is valuable. So
right, but if there ain't no phone.
No, I mean, like, if I know it's a circumstance with, they have a phone and they could have called, I'm going to hold them to that. You know what I mean? Like, I let them know when they get there, like, you lied to me.
I get you. I understand exactly what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Like, a lot of people think it's a difference between a little lie and a big lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying.
If I may, so I had a precept.
Go ahead.
Come on, concert. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. That's like, if I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just remember coming up always, my pops would always emphasize your reputation and your word means something. And it's like, you could tell it's a break in the generations between me and my pops, because he was so big on from learning from his pops. When you say something, man, that's what it is. And the way I came up, it's like, yeah, I said that, so what? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, so what? It changed. And so it's like, now that I'm older and I'm in the truth, it's like I see what he was saying. It's like how even it's biblical to like you said, without phones, if you say you're going to be here at this time, I don't care about the circumstances. You told me 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. I'm here expecting you at 8 o'clock. There's no way for you to tell me the circumstances change. So I expect for you to be here. And we should just carry it just like that.
Because it translates into the other parts of your life.
Yeah, come on.
It translates into the other parts of your life. Just for the young man, don't get any habit of promising yourself shit. Because who's going to hold you accountable? You promise yourself something. Who's going to hold you accountable?
I mean, that means a lot to me.
Okay, so if you fail in your promise, are you going to stand in the mirror and say, "You motherfucker, why you didn't do this?" You going to check yourself? No, you're going to feel sorry for yourself. You're going to get depressed. You're going to get mad with yourself. But there's no repercussions. How could you punish yourself?
I mean, I know what you're saying. But
listen, what you did before was good up until now.
Right.
Any man vowing a vow, you vow it before the Lord, which is before the priest.
Right.
You get the point for it to matter. Now, you don't have to vow everything. But just know that the promises you make to yourself, they don't matter because you're not accountable to anybody.
Right.
If you're accountable to yourself, are you going to... That's where that comes from. That's how you see them Catholics like to whip themselves and put nails in the boots and punish themselves. Oh, I've sinned. And then go and molest the boy the next day. So obviously you like being whipped. Right. So you're not punishing yourself.
Right.
But if you are accountable, I'll say, you are not even seeing the young boys anymore.
Right.
That will hurt you.
Right.
That will hurt you. And maybe we stand you up in front of everybody and tell them what you did.
Right.
But if you're accountable to yourself, you can just go in your room and you get the point? I'm not saying that's you, but I'm saying that's where they get that from. Right. But it's good we have as brothers and sisters, you have a check on yourself.
Right.
I'm just saying, up until this point, now you know if it is, first to begin with, how you say, you promise yourself you're not going to lie or whatever. The Bible says, let your yea be yea and let your nay be nay.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Yep.
Meaning, just let your word matter.
Yep, sir.
And let your nay be nay and your yea be yea. Go ahead.
I will say this, though. I tell people that all the time. So, like, they could help me if they were to catch me in a lie. The people that I know, I say that so much, so proudly, that I'm pretty sure they'd be like, oh, I thought you ain't lie. And I just said it on camera in front of you.
Well, brother, you told me what you used to do. You're not vowing anything here right now, but you're telling me what you used to do. It's like saying, I drive a lot. I'll drive anyway versus saying, I'll drive for you every time you want.
Yes,
That's a difference. You
right.
get the point?
Right.
So, but I'm not down on what you did know. I'm just letting you know the making a vow, it's good to have a promise to yourself, but just know that if it comes a time where, that thing doesn't go how you want it to go, you're really not accountable to anybody but you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's, it's good to have that personal strength and integrity. But in here, you're going to start realizing you're going to have to be accountable to somebody else.
Yeah, sir.
You know what I mean? Go
it's
ahead.
like certain, and that's why the UPK is the body of the Lord. Like the Christian church is so wicked because of that very reason. The Christian church makes it where nobody in the church it has to be accountable to somebody else. Everybody has a personal walk with Jesus. And so now when you go out and whore on Saturday night, you come in Sunday and you cry and you chastise yourself by you crying.
What they say when they come in, what the Christians say, they always say, Lord, you know.
Yeah, my heart.
You know my heart.
Go
ahead. Lord, you know my heart.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know I didn't mean to do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you're not in school, you're not in the truth, and you don't understand the whole thing,
right.
Definitely hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable until you get somebody, you now become a soldier where you're accountable to somebody else.
Right.
You understand? Hold yourself at that high standard, all right?
Yeah, right.
Where we at now?
It's like, sir, we was at
Deuteronomy 30?
Yep, and 15, sir.
Please, go ahead.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Mm-hmm.
In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Right. So now he's saying, listen, if you keep my commandments, you choose life. You choose good. Right? Keep reading.
But if thy heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passeth over Jordan to go to possess it.
Right? So now he's saying, if you don't obey him, if you don't obey the Lord's laws, you will not get life.
Right.
You understand? You're choosing death. You're choosing curses, which is you're choosing evil because you're disobeying the Lord.
Right.
You understand? And that's the choice he's giving you. He's giving you a choice of, I'm giving you life or death.
Right.
You can choose to obey me, or you can choose to disobey me. The thing is, because we live in this world that's run by Satan,
right?
Satan makes disobedience look delicious.
Right.
You get the point? Satan makes our sin look, attractive.
Right.
You get the point? It makes it look so good. Like it's something that we should enjoy.
Yep.
It's so enjoyable because of all his marketing. He does a ton of marketing around sin. And it makes it look good. It makes it look, great. Like, this is what I want. You get the point? This is, I could enjoy that. I could do this. I could do that. When you get high, that's why the weed got so many different flavors. The chocolate, the vanilla, the honey, the that, until somebody put crack in there and you're running around, naked. Right. You get the point? He makes everything sinful look, delicious.
Right.
Where the point, you get to the point where you cannot enjoy things that the Lord normally give you to enjoy.
Right.
The Lord said you could drink alcohol, you got the vine. It's not enjoyable until you can get pissing drunk.
Right.
You get the point? Until you get stupid drunk.
Right.
Lord said you can marry. You can't have sex with a woman if you're a man. If you're a woman, you can't have sex with a man. Right? That ain't enough. You got to have homosexual sex,
right.
Lesbian sex, right. 2, 3, 4, 10 sums. You get the point?
Okay.
Like you have to do bestiality, animal sex, right. Machine and toy sex. You got to go all the way to enjoy that. And even when you enjoy that, that's not enough. You have to go invent a whole new sex. Right. Now, you have to be born a man, dress like a woman, and be attracted to women. So you're not gay, but no, you have to invent a whole new way to enjoy the things that's normal.
Right.
You're not choosing life. You're doing something different.
Right.
You're doing something else, and you think it's okay because of how the devil markets it. And it's not okay, and you're going to just find out the hard way like everybody else.
Right, okay, sir.
You understand? Go ahead.
It's like I made sure I had another precept about the vow, the oath breaker, sir.
Uh-huh.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay, for the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee, and it would be sin in thee.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. You come up in here, you get this thing, and you take that vow out. Life is not going to get easier. I'm telling you straight up.
Right.
It's not going to get easier. You see, you know why you think it's easy? Because the men in the I.S.U.P.K are such professionals. Right. You know what's the hallmark of a professional? Anybody knows?
They do their job without making it look like it's hard for them to do their job.
Go ahead.
I would say practice. They practice.
They definitely practice, but okay, anybody can practice, and they're not a professional.
Right.
But a professional, how you know a professional? They do the same thing every day,
right,
without fail, and they make it look easy.
Yup, okay, sir.
Easy. So much so that people try it and injure themselves trying to do it.
Right.
Make it look easy. Like, damn, I could do that. You see what he did? He just used his left and his right. Man, why did he sideline players? Right. And if I was out there, I ran this way, I caught the ball and juked him, and he go, look at that space, he got room. Right. On the real field, he got that room. Right. And looking so from the comfort of potato chips and soda. Right. But on that field there, he ain't got that space. That's why he ran out of bounds, nigga. Right. He a professional. He know what the hell he doing. Exactly. You get the point? In here, you would look at the brothers in here and the sisters in here and be like, and the first trial and tribulation you start reading Job. Them old school women, they cover their head with whatever. They start reading Job and rocking. Because you know getting some stress. Well, listen, I've been stressed since I found out Christ was black. Right. Listen, the scriptures say the knowledge bringeth grief in them. Right. That's in the Bible. That's in the Bible. Like, it's better you didn't know nothing. But this knowledge brings grief. Right. It brings you stress. It brings hell. Right. But we so professional, you don't see it. Right. That's how I know we good. We the best. We the best. Right. That's how I know we good. Because you go out and try and get your ass whooped. You get your full tail whooped, get locked up, cuffs, bust you upside the head. You know what I mean? We go out and do this thing and come right back and, do it again tomorrow. Right. You know what I mean? Game time. Because we're professionals at this. But them hard times do come. Right. And intense discipline is what keeps it. Right. Discipline is what keeps it. Courage, strength, integrity. Right. That's what keeps this damn shit going on. It's like, get fuzzy. You might have to reset it. I don't know what it is. Maybe lift it up and down. No, the camera I'm talking about. It's good? Yep, no sweat. Go ahead.
So I got the precepts.
Please.
Ecclesiastes 1:18. For in much wisdom is much grief.
Come on.
And he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
It's rough. I'm trying to tell you. Right. You know what I mean? I'm having a song called Sipping on My Sorrows. That's it. I'm sipping on my sorrows, man. Just trying to see tomorrow. Just sipping on my sorrows. Listen, life in UPK is not hell. Life in the truth, life in the service of the Lord is not hell. You understand? It's not hell, but it's not a cakewalk. Right. You understand? What's the precept I want for that? Come on.
When you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation.
That's a good one. I'll take that. What else is there? Me Matthew 11:30. If anybody else want to take a stab at it? Start at 29. Meaning life, when you come into the truth, you come into the UPK, right? Life is not hell. Well, this is not, waking up in dandelions and playing with puppies. Right. What's the precept? Start at 28. Matthew 11:28 through 30.
Couple times.
Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
Right? He said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Why? All you that are in hell, struggling and suffering and, full of burden. And you labor a lot. We slaving and we heavy laden. Heavy laden with what?
Our burdens, oppression, sir.
Oppression, poverty, God. Bills, child support, no brotherhood in the black community. You get the point? Right. Being oppressed by your enemy and also having to be at war with your own people. It could stress you to hell out. Right. White supremacy, you sisters, that plagues you all and you all don't even know it. You look in the mirror every day and you ain't satisfied with yourself. Right. Why? Because you're watching every movie with every white devil broad and in the image of beauty. The white man make a movie called Pretty Woman and choose the ugliest white bitch in the world. Excuse me, I don't understand how in the hell that big lip, you know, mop. She looked like a giant big lip mop. I forget her goddamn name.
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Look like, you know, like she had a Botox before Botox. And that's pretty woman.
Yeah, God.
What the hell is that shit?
Right.
No, if you Christian and you don't look like that, you're gonna have a problem your whole life. You're just gonna have a problem. You know what I mean? So come to me, all you that are heavy laden, right? And have burdens. Go ahead.
And I will give you rest.
And I will give you rest. Right?
Right.
I will give you rest. What is rest?
Somebody is the same, like in the sense of, in the context of peace.
I'll give you peace. I'll take that burden off of you.
Right.
I'll take that burden. You don't worry. I'll deal with that. Go ahead.
Keep reading, sir.
Please.
Come on, sir. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me.
Right. Take my yoke upon you and what?
And learn of me.
And learn of me. Learn of me. What does he say?
Learn the ways of Christ. Learn to follow Christ, which is to follow the laws.
That's it. Take my yoke and learn this way of life now.
Right.
We all know the way of life in the world.
Right.
We all know robbing Peter to pay Paul. We all know, you know, deciding which bill is the least important because they ain't gonna turn you off.
Yep.
We all know, you know, everything.
Right.
We know how to scrap and scrape and scam and scheme and just to do whatever to put food on the table and keep the lights and the heat on to make ends meet.
Right.
We know that. We know the whole thing of, yeah, brother like me, but shit, he ain't looking. Not literally like that, but we all know, man, is either him or me.
Right.
We all know that. We all know that type of life.
Yep.
Christ is saying, I'll handle all that shit you was doing.
Right.
Come here, come work for me and learn this job.
Right.
Learn this new way of life.
Right.
Take my yoke. I have a yoke on my neck. Let's trade places.
Right.
You take this yoke, I'll handle this one over here. But you make sure you learn that job. Because you know this one too good.
Right.
You know this one so good, I'm scared you're going to have this yoke on and you're going to be doing that same bullshit over here. Yeah. Learn this new one. Go ahead.
Come on, come. For I am meek and lowly in heart.
Right? For I am meek and lowly in heart. You understand? And I ain't coming to you like, you know, Trump.
Right.
I'm not coming to you like, you know, Vladimir Putin.
Right.
You understand? I'm not coming to you like that.
Right.
I mean, brother, coming to you to give you a different option.
Right.
That's it. That's all I'm coming to you as, your brother.
Right.
Go ahead.
And ye shall find rest unto your souls.
And because of that, you're going to have peace now. You ain't going to be so angry and vexed all the time and feeling so outraged and oppressed and don't know why you're losing your goddamn mind.
Right.
You get the point? Because of that.
Right.
You get me? Go ahead.
For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. What does that mean?
It's not the burden of the world. It's not the stress and the oppression of the world.
Right.
But it is work to live this life.
That's the truth. Because what do Christians say about that scripture? When Christians, you ever hear Christians say, "Come to me, all ye heavy laden." That's what Christ said. Because my burden is heavy. That burden is heavy, but my own is light.
Right.
What do Christians say about that one? Or what? You know, sure?
I'm not sure.
You know?
It's like if I may, sir, I'm trying to recall. I think they say this is like saying, once you come and start coming to church, now all of a sudden, magically, your life is going to be easy and you won't suffer. There will be no suffering, and you shouldn't go through anything. There should be checks in the mail.
You wouldn't have no heart. There will be only good time.
Right.
Land of milk and honey.
Right.
Peace and prosperity.
Right.
You understand? And if you're not having peace and prosperity, that means you must be sinning because my burden is light.
Right.
This scripture doesn't say there is not going to be a burden.
Right.
This scripture is saying compared to that bullshit you dealing with,
you
better come up on in here.
Right.
You get the point?
Right.
You better come up all the way up in here, brother. You understand? Listen, Go ahead.
If I may say, what you're saying is so heavy. Just let you know the UPK, we follow the Bible. I remember Jeremiah Hyman saying he heard a brother talking about how he was complaining about the issues he had with having multiple wives. And he was like, it's so far-fetched to us, but it's like, that's your burden, brother. You having sex with 2 women. Like, it's a burden that you have to manage, you know what I'm saying, both of these women, your wives. But brother, that's, you know, that's not really a burden compared to you sleep with whores in the world, and now you got to worry about children here and there, child support, STDs. Like, it's not the same thing.
It's not the same. The burden here is so much different.
Sir.
It's so much, you know. Let me give you another one. Earlier when I got this counsel, right? I knew this sister who she had lost her mother. Now, when I met her, I told the mother died like last month. Right? She had pictures of the mother everywhere. In the car, on the dash. She ride motorcycles. The mother is on the damn motorcycle. The mother died years ago. And I'm telling General about it, and he said, brother, that's a horrible burden to happen.
Right.
You know, there's a time to grieve.
Right.
But there's a time to stop grieving. That's in the Bible.
Yeah, couple concept.
The woman done dead and gone. Let her rest in peace. And that's what you all say?
Right.
Why are you so now every morning you oh mommy.
Right.
Oh mommy. And because of that, you can't have another relationship.
Right.
Mommy's there. Everybody who comes into your life is respect this goddamn picture?
Right.
Everywhere?
Right.
You're not letting yourself grieve properly. And you taking on a burden that you should not take that burden on.
Right.
That person lived their life. You grieve for them and they're gone. Live yours. Now start to live your life. That burden is lighter than this.
Right.
How many people you know cannot function because of the death of a loved one?
Majority of the black community.
That's it. Because because of the Christian church, we think they done gone and we ain't never gonna see them again and blah 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 blah. In here, they'll be back.
Right.
They'll be back. You lose a loved one this year, last year, this year you make a baby, more than likely that's the chain starting right back.
Right.
They're gonna be right back. Come on.
Sloppy, sir, if I may, what you're saying is so heavy. We just had a story on the news about a sister, older sister, used to live up under the Sousa Bridge in Southeast, and they found her dead.
Damn.
And she went homeless on purpose after her mother died, which I think was back in the 90s or early 2000s or something like that. They just brought that story up, so that was heavy what you're saying.
If you're fine, please send it to me, all right? I want to definitely read that. So she lost her mind because of the death of her mother. Now, where was the Christian church to go in there and let that girl know she has several mothers?
Right.
And we all lost our mother with you.
Right.
You get the point? Okay. We all lost our mother with you, and we have several mothers. That sister down there, I think is in Mississippi, Sharara now. She recently lost her mother that she was taking care of in her old age. Right. And the mother, I heard the story. The couple of years ago, Day of Atonement, I think it was the sister's first Day of Atonement. The mother was old, a ton of medication, couldn't really do too much. She get permission from the general to miss the Day of Atonement. The mother said, hell no, in her old age, and did the Day of Atonement with the girl.
Right.
You understand? With the girl. She said she already dead near the end.
Right.
Might as well do it now. You know what I mean? Live your whole life wherever.
Right.
Might as well do it now. And this sister would take care of her mother over and every day, never complaining, nothing. Right. When she had to come to the Passover, some event, it would be a decision to leave her with somebody else because she want to come to the UPK event, but her mother is telling her go.
Right.
Go. You're young, go live your life. She lost her mother recently. We all grieved with her, and right after that, she got married. Her life is starting. We're not starting, but continuing.
Right.
You get the point? That's this place where you get to grieve the right way. You understand? Nobody ain't gonna fault you for grieving.
Right.
And you're gonna think about your mother or your loved one every now and then.
Right.
But to develop a whole goddamn shrine, nigga, and walk around with pictures everywhere,
right,
you're burdening yourself with something. It's like going to a funeral every day. for the same person.
Right.
Why do that to yourself?
Right.
Why make that decision? Come on, all right. You're like, you know what
It's like it's
I'm
my mother's actually doing that right.
Oh, it's like, I forgot. Salaka.
I mean, she showed me something she bought. Got my grandmother's image in it, and then it's something else that she got, and then they plan on getting other.
Listen, that burden is why everything happened with you. I ain't gonna talk, but that burden was, you know, like they act like they the only person lost somebody.
Yeah, God.
And if you ain't grieving, I had to make you grieve.
Yeah, right, God. Yeah.
You understand? It's sick.
Right.
Come in here, brother. I'll deal with all of that. Just don't eat pork no more.
Right.
Go to camp.
Right.
Tell the white man it's the devil and come and drink liquor.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. It's all I have. Right? It's so simple now.
Yep.
It's so, you know, there's work to do.
Right.
But nigga, I ain't got to worry about that shit. You know.
Yeah.
How many brothers since they come in the truth lost slavery? I lost about 10. Right?
God.
Yeah, those good ass slavery. How do people who lose slavery react in the world?
In the world, it's life altering. It's depressing.
They cry.
Yeah, God.
Some of them sabotage the office. Right now, if you're going to lose your slavery, if you let's say you're working with your hands or something, they lock your tools away and they escort you off the property.
Yeah.
If you're working in an office, they lock your computer in the morning and they fire you. So you can't. I'll let you the shit. I come in there or they want to talk to you. All right, cool. I went there, shake everybody's hand. I walk around the office. Hey, thanks for showing me this. Thanks for showing me that.
Right.
I went to this white man who did that break. He said, "Man, you're a smart dude." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're a smart dude. I see what you're doing." I was like, "No, I really am thankful. You know, I ain't tripping.
Right.
I don't care. It's a goddamn job.
Right.
There's more.
Right.
And if there ain't more, I have no UPK family. I ain't gonna sleeping on that bridge like the sister.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, Lord help, I ain't trying to clown her.
Right.
But that ain't gonna happen to me.
Right.
And even if it do happen to me, I'm gonna be at camp.
Right.
I'm gonna come from camp right from under that goddamn bridge.
Right.
You get the point? It's different for people in the world because their burden is so. Half of that crying be the shame of losing the job.
Yeah, concert.
Half of that crying and rage and I just lost my job. It's not a shame.
Yeah.
You ain't got no job. You ain't got no job.
Right.
You ain't got no job.
Right.
Don't tell him about your day at work. I lost this job.
Right.
When you all come in here and say, "Cap, I lost my job," what do I say? No, I say, "Congratulations, sir. Good job." Like, what are we drinking? I celebrate that shit.
Right.
Listen, there's more job. Furthermore, you have more time to learn this job. This yoke here, this burden Christ gave you.
Right.
Now you have more time to do it. Now you have more time to be better here than a damn slave for I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
No, this is not saying if you do have a slave that it's evil and wicked. And no, good.
Right.
Make that money pay your tithes.
Right.
But the point I'm making is when we suffer things, the same things people in the world suffer, our whole outlook is different.
It's our concept.
Our entire outlook is just, you know, it's ridiculous. It's different.
Concept. It's like if I may, sir, what you said is heavy. And not only that, we don't suffer what they suffer in the world. I remember Valentine's Day just passed. And I'm trying to go on the Family Dollar. I got a little late night craving. I want a little chocolate bar.
Right.
I'm trying to get in and out. I forgot it's Valentine's Day. Coming there, brothers is losing their goddamn minds, scrambling, getting cheap cards and balloons and teddy bears. I put the candy bar down and walked out. I said, "Brother, that is not my burden."
Yeah,
like, that's I don't deal with that shit.
Good luck. Right. Good luck, nigga. I hope you get some sex tonight. Shit, if you get chocolate for the $50 from her, you lost already. There's niggas going to the diver.
Right.
$50 trying to get some Snickers and Reese's.
Right.
Motherfucker going to the diver and get some shit she can't pronounce. He's getting the drugs.
Right, God.
You dodge the bullet, nigga. You ain't getting no STD.
Right.
But our burden is different, and once again, that's a choice you make.
Right.
But this choice here is there's going to be a burden.
Right.
And it's not going to be, you know, delicious and lascivious and full of gravy and, you know, ketchup and barbecue sauce and just nice and delicious. It ain't gonna be that. They ain't gonna be no big booty hoes swinging on the damn poles up in here.
Right.
You get the point? They ain't gonna be none of that. They ain't gonna be you and somebody comparing some broad in here because you all done had sex with and passed it to each other.
Right.
They ain't gonna be, you ain't gonna have no getting high stories in here.
Right.
You get the point? Okay. That's not gonna happen in here. Those things do not appeal to us.
Right.
You get the point? Okay. And it takes work to get to that point because once again, that job you do know, come learn this job.
Right.
You get the point? You have to make that decision. Now, once you do make that decision, brother, you're gonna stand on that.
Right.
Sisters, you're gonna have to stand on that. Suddenly the first argument you get, you ready to damn walk out the damn, you ready to pack up and leave and walk out. Bitch, fight, goddamn it, stuck here. Excuse me language. Right. Like where is that part of you that's Sarah?
Right.
Where's that part? Where is Sarah? Sarah was that bond woman and then get pregnant and then said, you gotta leave. You gotta get out of here. Where's Susanna? Where's Shawashina in the Hebrew?
Right. Who
decided to fight? The shit was looking bad for her. She ain't roll over. You know what I mean? Where's that part in you? You know what I mean? And what you don't know is, for both brothers and sisters, that part is very attractive.
Yeah, common concept.
For a sister, that part is attractive. For a brother, attractive is the wrong word. That part is influential.
Right.
Because you are going to fight something that 99% of the people fail and drop and give up at.
Right.
So now everybody is like, well, and then you back there banging away at that damn door. Shit, man, he crazy. Nah, he ain't crazy. Look, it's starting to dent. And now you inspire people.
Right.
You get the point? Okay. But you ain't gonna inspire nobody by doing the same thing they doing.
Right.
You get the point? It's you gonna have to make that decision and make that shit happen.
Right.
Make that shit work. Make that shit get done. Achieve that shit. Push that shit forward. You're gonna have to make that decision. That's going to take discipline primarily, which is get the definition for discipline. I damn near sure it's all three of them, in some way, form, or the other.
Couple concepts.
All right, and then we move on with the other scriptures. All right.
Couple concepts. Discipline. The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using punishment to correct disobedience. A branch of knowledge, typically one studied in higher education. Train so us like. To train oneself to do something in a controlled and habitual way.
Right? To train oneself to do something in a controlled and a habitual way. That's very close to that. Integrity, strength, and courage. You understand? It's going to take all three of it to achieve this whole thing.
Right.
Anything you want, anything you put your mind to do, it's going to take that to do it.
Right.
Whatever it is, it's going to take that to handle it.
Right.
All right. Give me Matthew 15, 13, and also give me Ecclesiasticus 32. Matthew 15, 13. Hold on. Is it 13? No, Matthew 15, 3 through 5. Hold on. No, skip that. I don't need that right now. Give me Ecclesiasticus 32. 32 and 17.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
I don't know how to skip up. You need that apocrypha? I got it. No sweat. Ecclesiasticus 32
17
and starts 14.
Come. Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 14. Whoso feareth the Lord will receive his discipline.
Right.
And they that seek him early shall find favor.
Right. Whoso feareth the Lord will receive his discipline.
Right.
You get the point? Will receive his discipline. Will receive the Lord's courage, his strength, his integrity, his honor. You understand?
Right.
And also his discipline in terms of him correcting you when you're going off.
Right.
You get the point? That's also his discipline too.
Right.
Right? Whoso feareth the Lord will receive his discipline. Go ahead.
Come. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith.
And they that seek him early shall find favor.
Right.
They that seek him early. What does that mean? Early. Think of the Lord and think of who the day is. Go ahead, let me see where you are. Go ahead. You have your hand up, young man? Anybody? And they that seek him early shall find favor.
So like if I may, sir. Early meaning as soon as you realize you're being you're fighting your demons. Like as soon as you realize you feel the resistance.
That could be definitely one. Early in the game, but now you have to realize that you are being fought against. You have to know that you're in a war. So most people don't even know they're in a war with that point.
Right.
Right. But that's one thing. You seek him early. Think of father calling children.
Right.
What happens? Your father calls you. What happens?
Come immediately.
You come to where he's at. You seek him.
Right.
There's favor with that child who seeks him first. Tom, Dick, John, and Harry. Harry shows up first. What did your father say? Where is Tom, Dick, and John?
Right.
Tom, Dick, John, and Harry. Listen, I called you all. Now, he always hears me when I call.
Right.
He who seeks him early will find favor. Because to seek him late, what's going on at that point?
Shit falls
He
apart.
yelling.
Right.
Tom, he yelling your name now. He calling you.
Right.
Now niggas dying in the street.
Right.
Now, we cops just killing everybody. Mass incarceration, abortion, drug addiction. Now we getting late in this game now.
Right.
Now we getting late. Come on.
Somebody, sir, if I may, I was going to say, if you know what you're doing is sinful before you just completely destroy yourself.
Yeah, definitely that. Give me there's a scripture for that too. Hold on. Give me 1 John 5 and 17. Or 5 and 15. Hold on. $16 and $17. Give me that real quick, all right?
John 5, 16, sir.
16 and 17.
Come on, sir.
Whoever have it.
I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
1 John, chapter 16, verse 17.
No, chapter 5, verses 16 and 17.
Sir.
No, sir.
If any man see his brother sin a sin, which is not unto death, he shall ask, and he shall give him life for them that sin not unto death. There is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it.
Go ahead.
Come on, sir. All unrighteousness is sin, and there is a sin not unto death.
All right, what does that mean? Read it one more time.
Come on, or what? Can you read it? You got it?
Come on. 1 John, chapter 5, verse 16. If any man see his brother sin a sin which is not unto death, he shall ask, and he shall give him life for them that sin not unto death. There is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it. All righteousness is all unrighteousness is sin, and there is a sin not unto death.
All right, what does that say? Basically, the same thing you were just saying already.
before you destroy yourself, answer to your Father.
Yeah, okay. This one here specifically is talking about. This is a good scripture for praying for the dead. People say, "Yo, is it right to pray for the dead?"
Right.
He said, "There's a sin unto death." I don't think you should pray for that.
Right.
Meaning, sometimes you sin and the Lord kills you. That's that.
Right.
You done. You and the Lord know. But if you're alive and you know, okay, this brother doing something or sister doing something they shouldn't be doing, you can pray and ask the Lord to, give them that strength. You could go to them, help them out, straighten them up.
Right.
You could do things because their sin is not unto death.
Right.
But there is a sin that's unto death. I don't think you should pray for that.
Right.
Meaning they done die.
Yeah.
You get the point? And that's that.
Right.
But he here now, he could answer the call.
Right.
He could make a decision now and change. You get me? Let's go back to Ecclesiasticus 32 and where we was at. 14.
Verse 14, sir.
All right, 14, and then you keep reading, please.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 14. Whoso feareth the Lord will receive his discipline, and they that seek him early shall find favor. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrite will be offended thereat.
Right? He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrite will be offended thereat. What does that mean? Come on.
The brother that is seeking the law, the brother that's trying to, if he's sinning, he's trying to change, or he's trying to do what the Lord says. You understand? He shall find it. Like he shall do what he's seeking.
He'll be filled with the law. He's
Right.
going to be a lawful brother.
Right.
He's going to be filled with favor.
Concert.
But the hypocrite is what?
The hypocrite is going to be offended.
Who is it? But what's the hypocrite doing?
He acting like he's seeking the law.
Acting like he's seeking the law.
Right.
You understand? He's acting like it, but he ain't really seeking the law.
Right.
You get the point?
Come.
He going to be what?
He will be offended thereat.
He'll be offended thereat. Right there, he going to be offended.
Right.
Because he going to find out that he's not really keeping the law.
Right.
He's not really doing it. He's not really making the right decision that he should make. You understand?
Right.
a good way to understand this is the brotherhood scripture.
Right.
Where you get offended, but you decide to not go to that brother.
Right. Concert.
But you go to everybody else.
Concert.
What's that?
You're a hypocrite.
Yeah, you go to the brother. Go to the brother about whatever the offense is. You don't go to everybody else.
Right.
But you go to everybody else because you're really not seeking the law.
Right.
You're not really trying to seek according to the law. You're not trying to be right with this thing. You're trying to do something else.
Right.
You get the point? Go ahead. Verse 16. Go ahead.
They that fear the Lord shall find judgment and shall kindle justice as a light.
Say it again.
They that fear the Lord shall find judgment and shall kindle justice as a light.
Right. They that fear the Lord shall find judgment. Right. They will get justice. They would, do things that's lawful according to the law and make sure it's and they will kindle what?
Kindle justice as a light.
They'll kindle justice as a light. Meaning what? They're going to set a blaze with being righteous.
Right.
Where now there's things you should be proud of. You understand? The Proud Boys, they're proud of breaking the law.
Right.
All them Proud Boys, they're proud of storming the Capitol and breaking the law. Once again, next Saturday, March 6th, going to be round 2. Commander Johnny Hanna going head-to-head with Enrique Tario on Commander Johnny Hanna channel on YouTube next Saturday night. Not this Saturday coming. This Saturday, he's going to be sitting down with UK, right? Discussing everything that's going across the pond. This Saturday is what? March the 29th? 27th. Next Saturday, March the 6th, I believe. Right? March the 6th. No, this Saturday is February 27th. Slovakia, February 27th. Next Saturday is March the 6th. He's going to be sitting down with Enrique Tario. I keep messing up his name. and a couple other Proud Boys, real official Proud Boys,
right?
To find out why they breaking the law, right. Why they're not seeking after righteousness,
right?
Why they set the Congress ablaze, but not justice alight,
right?
You understand?
Right.
They blaze up, they blaze it up, blaze that whole thing up, right. But they ain't set justice alight. You understand? They did not set justice alight because they're not seeking after the law.
Right.
You get the point? Go ahead. 17.
A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
Say it again.
A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
A sinful man will not be reproved, right. But he will find an excuse according to his will.
Right.
Break it down. Go ahead.
A sinful man, as he's being reproved, corrected, or and here we say check, but corrected, rebuked. He's going to, as he's being reproved, he's not hearing what is being brought to him in his wrongdoing. He's now finding an excuse as to why he did it. It's like, saying you dropped the ball on this. Yeah, well, I've been real tied up lately, and this is and that, instead of, kind of, sir, you're right, sir.
Okay. Well, remember, this is sinful. So, yes, the sinful brother will start doing that, but just think he getting checked on the sin he's doing. You understand? Don't think, because it could just be a brother has a focus problem that he might not be able to complete tasks or something's going on. Everybody gets distracted with something, right? Listen, Christ had that problem. That's why he had to go fast, right? Remember, he did not want to go on the cross, right? He didn't want to complete that task. Who could blame him? Would you say, yeah, nigga, set me on fire, stab me in the neck on this side, right? Then pour salt in it and cut my nuts off, and cut my, go ahead, stop. You done? Nobody ain't want to do that shit. Christ had to go and fast to be able to do it because the task was so great. It was just an insurmountable task. It was overwhelming. He prayed, Father, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, let thy will be done. If this is what you really want, all right then. But if you could, Babu Kusha, Salakia, this ain't fun. You get the point? So this thing more, this is more so he ain't doing what he's supposed to do lawfully. He or she. And now it's time for correction, but they're proud in it. They're trying to make excuses. They're trying to let that sinful action that they pass as normal.
Justify.
They're trying to justify it. They're trying to justify, well, Well, you see, what happened was, she told me she was married, but she pulled it down and she put it on my lap. So I said to myself, well, she couldn't be married. She could not be married. If that's the case, I just, God ain't gonna be mad at me for eating a little bit of pork. Right? Just think like that. Get the point, go ahead.
Salaki, sir, if I may. Can we use the example that you gave earlier? Like the Catholic, whipping himself, and then he ain't got to. He ain't got to stop. Accountability.
Yeah, he ain't accountable. He had to stop raping boys. He just had to tear that back up. He had to tear that back up real good. And that's that. He just, go and, put some, oil on it, and he good. You get the point? Go ahead.
Verse 18. A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even when of himself he have done without counsel.
You understand? Go ahead.
Come. Do nothing without advice, and when thou hast once done, repent not.
You understand? That's not what we're talking about now. You get the point? It's a way you could train yourself to be, where now you're going to make decisions. You're going to make better decisions. You're going to decide it. And when you do it, it's done. And repent not, repent not here, meaning don't go try to upbraid the decision. You might be like, If you can do that again, would you do the same thing? Nah, I wouldn't do it. All right, no problem. You learn your lesson. Now go fix that situation.
Right.
You get the point?
Okay.
Go fix that situation there now. You understand?
Right.
You know, you're staying, you gotta handle that situation. Right? Go ahead.
Go not in a way wherein thou mayest fall, and stumble not among the stones.
Yes, and don't put yourself in a situation that you're gonna fall. You're gonna stumble. You get the point? Don't do that to yourself. Make a better decision on how this thing's supposed to go or how it should go. But you don't want to do something now that will harm yourself.
Right.
You now make a decision to go in the way of the stones where you're going to stumble and fall and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go ahead.
Be not confident in a plain way.
Right. Meaning this. Don't be just like, okay, 1 and 1 is 2 and that's that and is that. You want to get counsel on something, you get some information on something, you make a decision. Don't be confident simply. I don't know if I explain it the right way. Like how you say, lean not until you won't understand it.
Okay.
After you done decide something, that's your own understanding of it, and you good in that.
Right.
Don't be confident in a plain way. You know, that's a regular run, way everybody does that shit.
Right.
You definitely want to get your confidence from. You considered it. You got counsel. You made a decision. You get the point?
Right.
You made that decision. You get your confidence there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I hope that helps everybody understand. Hold on. Understand it, because how our oppressors set this whole thing up, it encourages us to make these decisions and not take them seriously, make decisions lightly.
Right.
And these decisions, your decisions cannot be made so light. It cannot be something where you just had the whim and fancy of whatever at the time for convenience, and you just do it for that reason. You should not. You should consider, you should count the cost. You should count the cost. That's in the Bible too. When you're undertaking something, count the cost. Pull that for me as well. Okay. And you said that there was some questions on thing with me too. Okay. You have it?
Oh, so like it, sir. Mm-hmm. So just by reading this, I can see why Esau wanted to pull away the apocrypha out of the scripture. Like this is so plain to see. It's crystal clear.
Yeah. The apocrypha is so, is lethal and everything.
Right.
Luke 14 and 28. Right? The apocrypha is so lethal. You get into it, it's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like in this book, it tell you don't what is it? Don't the word escaping me, but it's down there like, don't give in to your children. It's better to leave the house and let them seek you later.
Yeah,
that's in the apocrypha. So for people who you want to stay with some slut, I stay with her for the kids, brother. It's better you leave and become a man. I'm talking about in the school, meaning sometimes your brother comes in the school and his woman, she's just loudmouth, dragon, right. And she now decides she gonna go on him and go on him and go on him all the time because he's starting to stand up in masculinity. And there might come a point between, she hoeing, and you could leave, but you can stay because of the kids. Leave. Right. That's the UPK thing. Right. Leave. Get counsel before you do it though, because it's not. It may not be that cut and dry in your particular situation. Right. But the best thing to do is just leave. Right. But when you leave, you're gonna have to stay up in here. You can't leave, put your hand to the plow, and then you look back. Right. And what the fuck you left for? Right. You should just stay there in that mess. Right. Now, when you put your hand to this plow and you do it, they're gonna know their father is in that school, and they're gonna want their father, despite all the lies she tell them, and they're gonna start listening to you, and they're gonna hear it. And then they're gonna reach the age, and they're gonna realize that the reason they didn't have a father around was because of the mother. Right. And they're gonna come looking for you. The Bible says it's better that they come searching for you than you, I think, bow for their need or something like that. It said, I forget exactly. All right, give me the scripture I wanted, please.
Luke 14.
was it again?
28.
Luke 14, verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it.
Exactly. Which of you trying to build a tower will not sit down first and budget, man?
Right.
And count the cost of, well, XYZ is this case here, and blah, 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 and I know how to deal with this, and I know how to deal with that, and I know how to deal with the other,
right.
And blah, 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 blah. You're going to start something and then halfway you complain about it, and then now you're going to leave half a foundation? How many times you see a building like that? Where the funding is over and it's just a foundation and rebars and grass.
Right.
You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? You're
Right,
seeing
right.
stuff like that.
Oh, God.
Whoever it is didn't count the cost. They did not count the whole cost for that endeavor.
Right.
And that's how you had to take it. You want to take everything like that. You want to count the cost. It's going to cost you something.
Right.
It's going to cost you something whether you come into the truth as a brother, as a sister, whether you're going to have a child or more children. It's going to cost you something. Esau has something, a phrase for it in the business world. It's called opportunity cost.
God.
Opportunity cost means this. If let's say the budget for, to build this hall is $500. If I spend $600, $100 more, what more could I get? That $100 is what they call opportunity cost. It's like, if we spend a little more, how much more we could get.
Right.
Versus leaving it at the 5. You get the point?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Now I'm going to undertake this thing here. Or you might say, I could spend $500 on this, or I could spend $500 on getting some food and, going somewhere. Or I could spend $500 on going to a different city for camp.
Right.
Or something like that. You get the point?
Right.
And brother, you remember you offering the table. Remember? The opportunity cost is that backpack.
Right.
And the other things that you could buy. You get the point?
Right.
Like what else I could do with this resource? What else could I have done with this amount of energy? What else could I have done with this amount of investment?
Right.
That could pay something else back. And you look at it and which ones gives you the highest opportunity for the cost, that's where you put your money. That's business 101.
Right.
Opportunity cost. Like, how should we spend this? How should we do this? No, we're going to put this here. We're going to put this here. This is going to yield more.
Right.
That thing ain't yielding.
Right.
Don't put nothing more in there. I'm going to put something in here now. I'm going to put something in this person now. I'm going to put something here because they're yielding. You're going to look at that opportunity cost with everything.
Right.
You're going to look at that opportunity cost in choosing a vehicle. You get the point?
Correct.
You're going to look at that. You're going to put that into your decision making, that algorithm in your brain. Everybody has some algorithm personal to them.
Right.
I could get this car because I need this. On weekends, I do this, or I buy a truck so I could put something in the back.
Right.
Or it's just me alone. I don't need a big car. I get a small car. I could get a 2-door sports car. That's cheap because it's just me alone. Nah, man, I got a ton of kids. I need that minivan, but I need it for the low.
Right.
You get the point? You want to start to process that thing and see how that thing goes. You do that for a house. You do that when you're coming into the truth. It's going to cost you.
Right.
It's going to cost you a slave. It's going to cost you that woman you love so much. Them kids, them big-headed kids running around. It's going to cost you them. You get the point? What are you going to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to have to count the cost of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're a brother. You might see a sister you like. You might want to count the cost out. Behind that pretty face might not be such a pretty attitude.
Right.
Get the point?
Oh, God.
You a sister, you see a brother, you're like, he's so handsome with a P. Oh, he's so handsome. And how some nigga might turn out to be a lion in the house. You gotta count the cost. Right. You gotta see what it is. Are you willing to put up with this? Right. That brother, he might have a ton of other women. Or he might be a brother that's so invested in the truth. You might find yourself playing second fiddle. Some women can't handle that. Right. They just can't. They just, it's just too much for them. They need to be center of attention. But that's the opportunity cost.
Right.
Now, in every decision, if you make the choice, you have to live with it now.
Right.
You have to live with it. You gotta deal with that. You buy a lemon, brother, you gotta handle that shit. Right. You go on YouTube, go watch some do-it-yourself videos. Go buy them Haynes books that be in them auto stores. Right. Learn how to fix your goddamn car. Right. You know what I mean? Make a plan to get another one in a few months. Right. You get the point? You going into a rental agreement, lease, whatever. You going into a marriage. At that point, you gonna have to make you made your decision. You made it, man. Right. Now what we gonna do now? This thing had to get dealt with. It had to deal. Remember, there was something there at one point that didn't make you say this is the best decision to make. Right. So if the decision was good to make then, why is it not now? Just because the circumstances change, a little rough part, kind of thing. So Christ is not black no more now because life get hard. Right. Oh, because life get hard, we can eat a little pork, right? Right. Lord ain't gonna mind you celebrating a little birthday. You buy a cake this small. Right. And as you pray for the blessings, you come in. Right? Nah, man. You live your life total, right? Complete. There's a certain amount of integrity where, man, come rain or shine or storm or cold, hell or high water, don't be afraid whether Hebrew. Right. Don't be afraid whether Israelite. Only when it's 82.5 outside, right. You happy. Right. Anything more hot or more cold is a problem. You're ready to tear it up. Don't be like that, man. Right. You listen, man. This is the nature of the battle. Give me that last one. I'm gonna close. Hold on. Give me that last one. I might have to close right there. down the questions. I'm making that decision. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. You know what I mean? So give me that one. Give me that. It's in the Apocrypha. Sir. All right, it's in the Apocrypha. You can't be fair whether you can't now change your decisions. That in certain situations you can't change that decision based on that thing right there. You get me? You can't do it. Go ahead.
Second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 57. Mm-hmm. Then answered he me and said, "This."
You might want to read what Esdras was asking the angel first. 56.
I believe it's 51. Verse 51, Salah, if I may.
Go ahead, Sabin.
Second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 51. And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health.
Hold on. Skip up to 47.
Okay. Second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 47.
46.
And I answered then and said, "This is my first and last saying, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else, when it was given him, to have restrained him from sinning."
So, anybody read that again? This is so goddamn funny.
I answered then and said, "This is my first and last saying."
Okay, let me get a little backdrop, right? This is Esdras, right? The prophet Esdras. He having a vision with an angel, right? The angel take him up, and he is questioning the angel on why he has to be present in this time to watch Israel suffer so much. Right? He say, if we the children of God, if we God's special people, why are we suffering? How much people here say that? That fool politely to Zariah, ragdoll for years. Right. That's what he was saying. Where's the God in slavery? You mean God stand by and watch the woman get raped, stand by and do this and stand by and do that? Because he don't have no understanding. Right. So Esdras, and that's it, okay, in a way, that's a good rage to have. Like, Lord, where the hell you at? Right. That's a good rage to have in a way. But now you have to know, Lord, where you at? You know what? I have to seek the Lord. Right. Not where you at, come to me. Right. I'm going to find you. Right. You get me? Just think of father, just think of parent and a child. Your child call you. Are you going? I mean, Salaki. Some of y'all might go. Unless it's a blood-curdling scream.
Right.
You better bring your tail here and tell me what the hell going on. Right or wrong? You know what I mean? You don't call me. I calls you. You get the point? That's just how it is. Old school parents, that's how it go. You know what I mean? You don't. The child call you, hey, Daddy, and you come running up. What do you need, child? No, you didn't come.
Right.
Come here. I'm dealing with something. I ain't coming to you right now.
Right.
Go ahead. So Ezra, he's complaining about the whole thing with the angel breaking it down, explaining to him. This is how it had to be.
Right.
Some generations had to go through slavery, another generation went through the civil rights.
Okay.
And every generation, the Lord built them in a way they could handle that thing they went through.
Right.
You understand?
Okay.
The civil rights generation probably could not have handled the plantation.
Right.
You understand? Tulsa, Oklahoma generation could not handle crack cocaine.
Right.
Different generations handle different curses.
Right.
The Lord put them there, and that's His decision from outside of Egypt, where there's Deuteronomy on Numbers, where He say, "I'll visit the iniquity of the father until the third and fourth generation."
Okay.
Where He'll bring you back into that. That's just our punishment.
Right.
That's it. So Ezra is not complaining. All right. So let's take it from there.
Okay, sir. That it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else, when it was given him, to have restrained him from sinning.
So now, what does Ezra say?
So where are we?
So like second Ezra chapter 7, verse 46, sir.
Mm-hmm. You told I was drinking liquor, huh? Yeah. Like, what's in that cup? You was drinking from that cup. Water, nigga. Then they're gonna say that ain't water in the bottle. Vodka. All right, vodka.
So like what I say, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Like Edris is saying, like, what's the point? Like, why not just have made it where?
Isn't that what Israelites in the world say today?
Come on, sir.
If God, why He put us through slavery then?
Right.
Why He didn't just, couldn't He just stop the white man when we was in Africa?
Right.
That's what they say. Ezra was feeling the same way. This is how you know the Bible is real.
Right.
Because he's saying the same thing they say today.
Come on.
So Ezra is so frustrated. Ezra say, wait, it's 46?
Come on, sir.
He said, this is my first and last thing. He frustrated.
Right.
You just think you're talking and you're frustrated. You say, listen, man, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm saying shit after this. Right? It wouldn't have been better to never give Adam, rulership.
Right.
Because if you said, sin coming to the world through one man, Adam,
right.
Why you give him it anyway?
Right.
We wouldn't have been in this mess if you didn't give Adam power.
Right.
Or better yet, why didn't you just go stop him from sinning? Why you didn't do it? What's the real question?
So, if you think about it also, that's what Adam said to the Lord about the woman.
That's it. It's the same thing. Like, this is who we are as a people. But what's the real question you should ask?
Why did Adam stand up and not say it?
The whole class was about what? Read the topic.
Choosing life and wanting to change.
What's the real question? What should Ezra ask the angel right here?
So like, sir, if I may, why didn't Adam choose good?
Boy, I should wait on y'all and giving y'all a chance.
I might get it wrong.
Because I just always say this. That's how I know he gonna get it. You don't mind? You gonna try?
Come back around.
There ain't no coming back around. You gonna try that?
I'll give it a shot. Go ahead. I mean, a lot of times what I would say is I ain't shit, but what can I do?
Give him a hand. I'm a prophet. I told you he's there. That's it. The question here, it shouldn't be what Adam did or anybody else did. He's like, okay, what sin am I doing now that I need to stop so I don't suffer no more? Right. You're complaining about you suffering, right?
Right.
Well, you suffering because of you. You're quiet. It ain't personal. You suffering because of you.
Right.
That's what the question the person asked yesterday, if they should go back and apologize to some brother that was within the world.
Right.
Y'all was meant for each other. You understand? You always meant for you in the world with some dumb broad, or you in the world with some dumb brother, and he's smacking you upside the head with. You're meant for each other. Right. That's a sinner's life. Right. That's a sinner's life. Now to go and hunt her down and apologize, I wouldn't do that. If that's a baby mother and you still had to see her, you could probably do it just to, have a healthy relationship for the kid. You're there. You ain't with her, but you know what, so and so. I just want to tell you it's a lot, whatever. Right. But in the world, that's a sinner's life. A wicked man is a wicked woman's portion. Right. You get the point? Okay. Now, in the world, what do they say? I've tried so many, and all men are dogs. Every last one. Man, I ain't messing with this, them so and so again. I'm messing with that again. Every last one I tried. Nigga, the only constant is you. Right. You mean 10 different people and the same outcome? Right. Maybe you are the issue. It's possible, right? Right. It's not impossible. So if it's 99%, but that 1% it might be, just try. Just look. Just take a look. Right. Ezra should have asked, "What could I do?" Right. Keep going. Come on.
Verse 47. For what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment?
Right. So now he's like, what are we going through all of this for, to live like this and then just die? Right. And then we got to get judged. We are already living in hell. Right. Which is what Israelites say. You mean to tell me we got to live in the ghetto and then I got to die and go to the white man heaven? And you see what I'm saying? Right. Like, we the same predicament. Okay. But we're not looking to who could solve the problem, which is us. Right.
One of the perfect examples to look at that is when you read the book of Job. That's a perfect go-to.
That's it. Job started looking at himself. Job started looking at himself because he was righteous. He was right. You know what I mean? Right. And then the Lord came and totally, vindicated him of everything. So you could read that down. He complaining. Right. And then the angel answered him and said what? Verse 57, right? Verse 57, right? You read it down. He complained a whole lot. I believe this whole book, the whole book, first and second Ezra is a conversation between him and the angel. Okay. And at times Ezra gets fully disrespectful with the angel. The angel had to check him. Right. Check him and tell him, chill to hell out. You will never understand these things. Basically down here like, look, nigga, shut up. Right. You don't know what you're talking. I'm gonna watch your mouth. You get the point? But he is frustrated because Israel is in hell. You get the point? Right. He's in hell. So now the angel answered him. Go ahead.
Verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
You understand? This is the condition of the battle. Right. Brother, sisters, that's your life. Right. This is the condition of the battle. Right. Fight, nigga. Right. Fight. That's it. That's all it is. Fight. This is Lord want to see you swinging. You put a movie on. You tell me y'all gonna watch HBO Max later. That's the new drug, the new cyber drug. y'all forget Amazon and Netflix. Now y'all maxing it out. Right. Y'all, which movie y'all watching with no action? With somebody who just ain't fighting. Somebody who just punking. You ain't watching that shit. Every movie is like, every show you like, the Snowfall. You all like that he was this little, dude that come up. Paid in Full. Everybody see Paid in Full, right? With Ace and whatever the other one name is. Ryan Mitch. Yeah. Everybody liked when Ace came up because he thought he was, he was the weakest one. Then he started coming up. You like to see that, right? But imagine Ace was just, this punk and pushover and whatever. It would have been nothing. Right. You want to see that fight, right? Okay. That made the movie. Even though he ended up with a bullet in his head and blah blah blah, you look at him like, you know what, man? He was running this shit good. Right. It's this nigga that messed it up. You rooting for it. Right. The Lord want to see you fight too. He ain't watching no boring ass movie with you, Right. He want to see you get down in there and fight and dig and make this mess gold. Right. That's a real story. That's a real miracle. That this whole situation is a mess. And then it's like, well, damn, what did you do? The Lord. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Just that black saying, I'm in the struggle.
You're in the struggle, but you're gonna make it. You're gonna make $1 out of 15 cents. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it, brother. You take that spirit, sister. You take that spirit into anything, you'll be undefeatable.
Right.
You wouldn't be able. You wouldn't know what defeat is like.
Right.
To the point where a defeat will offend you.
Come.
What? Nah. You making all kind of phone calls. You rallying up everybody like it's World War III.
Right.
You get the point. You start living your life like that. You don't accept mediocrity. You don't accept what we can't do this. You stupid. You sick.
Right.
Nah. So it'll offend you so much that somebody who ain't wanna get down in the battle with you is you can't rock with that.
Right.
You can't rock with it because everything is contagious. Courage is contagious. Laziness is contagious.
Right.
It's gonna start to spread, and whoever has the bigger influence is who's gonna spread it more.
Right.
And that's what makes the UPK who the UPK is. We are who we are because our spirit is the Lord's spirit, and it gets enforced.
Right.
It gets enforced. Your decisions make your life, and you should choose wisely. And when you do make that decision, if it does get tough, don't be a feline. That's my new word for saying.
Right.
Yeah. Don't be a feline. Don't purr.
Right.
Don't purr and rub your neck on the problem and rub your tail like them cats.
Right.
Get down and dirty. Roll them sleeves up and get in there and work that thing out, man.
Right.
Work that thing out. If you love this truth and you love everything, work the goddamn thing out.
Right.
Ask your questions tomorrow. With that, pass the class over to, you going to do the announcement now?
I'll do it.
Yeah, you're going to probably have to do it. Preset officer, because I can't remember. Yeah, it was.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, 8 to 10. Means 10th in Hebrew is pronounced ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives, you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests. Not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming Holy Convocation is tomorrow, starts tomorrow, which is Purim. That's the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. That's tomorrow, February 25th, and Friday, February 26th. You can find this in Esther chapter 9, verses 20 to 31. Also, the Lord's 52nd annual Passover will be held in Houston, Texas on August 24th, 2021. Get in contact with your camp leader. Pay your Passover funds, $200 for adults 17 and older. If they're under 17, it's free. You understand? All Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are invited. Come out, enjoy the brotherhood. Houston, Texas, get your Passover fund there, your hotel arrangements, your flights, get everything in order.
And get them Passover funds in ASAP. First, damn near. Send that thing in. So all the lamb could be secured, all the wine could be secured. You know what I mean? That ranch that you're getting a whole, I forget how much acres it is, like 35 acres or might be more. I think it's like 100-acre farm with horses and, goats, and there's a fishing pond and stuff for the kids. All that needs to be secured, man.
Right.
And send that 200 in. It ain't that much if you start paying it down. Pay it off. Pay 20, 50. Don't drink Jack for about 2-3 weeks. You're going to pay the shit off.
Right.
You get the point? Go ahead.
Remind Akim and Agwati to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband or scarf. And with that, I say Imagine, which means to stand. Come on, God. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine, Barak, Yahweh.
Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
YAHANNA, class dismissed.
The Lord loved us so much that in our poverty, in our hell, I'm going to come and deliver the broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people. I'm going to.
Yo niggas ain't tough. Yo niggas ain't tough.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Yahweh Shema Alatah Ba'Shem Yahushua to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000, the card of a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite school of UPK under Commander Junior
Power, and you know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that?
Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander YAHANNA under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
2021 I.S.U.P.K 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the